Yo, it's Vlad, and I'm here on Writing Leagues, the O.W.L, OnlyOne Writing League, for another vote. And this time I'll be looking at Slim MC versus the Magician. And the topic is a person sitting in a dark room at the base of a window with the light shining in. That's a nice fucking topic. And we're going to start with Orpheus the Magician. I have found solitude in this dark room. Without it I have no meaning. I am destitute. I have been abandoned, accepting lies instead of cold truths. I thought this was love, but that wasn't sooth. Does not compute the calculations of your error, lacking absolutes. You twist your words, you care, but you convolute. I've never lied to you, you refuse. Instead you've abused. Wore me out like an old pair of shoes. Threw me under the bus as long as no harm came to you. I'm hiding, don't even want to see the light shine through. I can't face the window and I can't face you. I've confined myself to my dark friend, where no harm can reach me. My heart is hardened. I remember where we started. Broken up like wishbones, our paths have parted. I can't leave my home, it's not safe. I'm afraid to depart it. Leave my apartment so I can be with my darkness. The utilities are in your name. I'm jobless. I can't pay shit. Afraid of becoming evicted. I can't even pay rent. You've put me in a position where I've become codependent. You've become a cancerous tumor, baby. You're dangerous, malignant. Thankful that this ride has ended. The darkness I have befriended. My time alone is splendid. Growing my sanity like a dying tree that was diminished. My roots have been revitalized, replenished. Now that this is over, I can move past where I thought I finished. I still appreciate the single light that witnessed the healing past my sickness. Shit, that's not bad, dude. That's not bad. I'm sure you could... I'm sure an audio from you of that would sound better than mine. I know you've got like your own sort of maybe weird to me flow for your audio. So if I didn't pick up on it, my bad. I read it how it seemed to me, so that's only my perspective. I think you did a good job with the topic to this. I think overall it was quick. I mean, it was pretty short, but what you did have, I think you did a good job of telling a story. I can tell it was kind of an emotional piece, in terms of the reflective and the story that you're telling. Consistent with the topic again. I would have liked to have seen more content. Some of the spots I felt the rhymes fell off just a little bit. But some was fucking smooth. Some was smooth as fuck. Like the you twist your words, you care, but you convolute. I've never lied to you, you refuse. Instead you've abused. Wore me out like an old pair of shoes. I mean, when you were on, it was nice. But then there was others, like the... Let's see. Actually, they're not even really off. Jesus. My bad. Actually, skimming it again, there really wasn't. I take back that. I just think it could have been a bit tightened up in some spots. Leave my apartment so I can be with my darkness. The utilities in your name. I'm jobless. I can't pay shit. Afraid of becoming evicted. I can't even pay rent. You've put me in a position where I've become codependent. You've become a cancerous tumor, baby. You're dangerous, malignant. I mean, it flows fairly smoothly, but I did have some slight issues with the wording, especially in the end rhymes there. I might get fired on for dissing on the slant. I think even in terms of a slant, those were still a bit off. Again, it comes back to the way I read it out loud or under my breath, and the way that you would read it or spit it. Because I think you could 100% make that work. I can't. That doesn't mean I'm really judging you for that. I liked some of the descriptive that you used. You really took direct imagery to the topic, and that was nice with the added things like "wore me out like an old pair of shoes," broken up like wishbones, our paths have parted. Those were nice add-ins for that. I think I'm not sure how quick you wrote it. I know you posted pretty early. I think the one thing that I would say that is if you were to if you had written this and then kind of sat on it for a few days, came back, maybe threw in some edits, even made it a bit longer, a bit more content, a bit more tightened up in certain spots, I think that would have been helpful. So if you're staying in for round 2, I'd like to see even a couple more days worth of effort here and there on this. But I think you've got a nice start to that. I know you're transitioning and we're kind of just trying this out in terms of topicals. So I'm not being too hard on that. But yeah, so there we go. Crybaby by Slim MC. Born in Long Island when the future seemed bright, the demon in hiding hadn't yet seen the light. Happiness was abundant, youth claimed the house. Depression makes not a monster, it makes a mouse. But when he was a lion, king of a mother's heart, king of being himself, though it broke him up into shards. I don't write to condemn nobody, and it wasn't a gun, it was the horrible horror that devoured my son. At 14, I knew he wasn't normal. That's true. What kind of 8th grader brings home a neck tattoo? Green hair, pink nails, and lots of red marks on tests. Locked himself in his room to host his crying contests. Now, so far, the flow is fucking on point. I had a slight issue with I don't write to condemn nobody. That's just not in the English that I would use. I know you're a bit more raw in terms of the sort of grammatical. So I'm not really judging that. You write how you want to write. I just had an issue with it from my perspective. Still, otherwise is fire so far. His mind ate away at him. Every glance in the hallway became a knife. Locked himself in his room for 3 months, just dying to take his life. Dropped school at 16 and made covers of his favorite trap songs. At 17 he found a light, and I prayed that it would last long. I cried when I found the pills and said I could no longer help, so he packed and moved to LA, feeling things he should not have felt. He said he would live off the music. It lasted half of a minute. He came home and then left again. His depression was music in him. See, I like the feel of this so far. I like it. On his 3rd mixtape, I knew he'd found the key to his mental jail. No longer sank, he sailed. Expression seemed to have paid his bail. But the demon in hiding saw his light because my sun was shining brighter. Jesus. I feel like I got a lisp out of nowhere. But the demon in hiding saw his light because my sun was shining brighter. Like the darkness of the night was made an addict from a fighter. He left my house on his birthday, headed for the West at 21. The career he founded off of music, ready to blow up and run. Woke up 2 Wednesdays later, ready to face the grind, with the image of those white pills pushed to the back of my mind. Got the call early Thursday. The pain cried, shrieks ripped at my throat. That he was now a slave to the dark room. Demon boarded up the window. Excuse me. Dead at 21. Overdose left him comatose. Fans cried because he understood. Knew what no one knows. A week later I speak at a funeral, where he will forever sleep. Sobbing I say his name was Gustav, but you called him Little Pete. Okay. I mean, the flow, that's the first thing I gotta point out, was the flow was super on point. I know yours usually is. you've got like that simplicity to the wording, which I'm not saying anything against it. I fucks with it. I would take simple and decent flow most of the time over a bit more complex but choppy and broken up. Kind of the opposite of what Unique did in his piece, if you've seen that battle or do at any point. I want to judge you for doing a little Pete piece. Not sure if I should or not. I know you're one to sort of highlight and write about what you see. I think that's sort of an age thing. So I mean, it's not what I would write. And from my perspective, I might not like it as much. But it's consistent with what you do. So I'm not ever gonna tell you to not do that and write about shit you don't know or do what you're not good at. So I think it was sufficient for what you did. I know you were sort of battling with the time, the deadline as well, and it turned out nice. It seems like something that you just started writing and it sort of just flowed out. It comes out pretty natural for me. Overall, it was a decent piece. I was definitely drawn to what you were saying, especially the narrative from a mother's point of view. I mean, I'm not a mother because I don't have a vagina, but you did a good job at being able to describe the feeling of a mother. So that was a plus, a huge plus. So let's go to some voting categories here. Topic consistency. I mean, you both... It was a picture that there wasn't going to be a whole lot of approaches to it. I mean, there is, in a sense that you could take any approach to write about like a human being in a dark room, dark mind, one single shred of light, you know, in that sense. I like the topic, but I don't at the same time. So topic consistency and creativity. I mean, I think I might have that as a tie. I mean, I really have no complaints on either piece from that aspect. I'll write this down too while I'm doing it. I'm gonna drop like a text vote categories as well. Yeah, I think I've got that a tie. Yeah, no problems at all with the consistency or the creativity from either. I'd like to say that Slim's was a bit of a cop-out with that piece, but again, I explained that, so I'm not taking anything away from that. Entertainment and style. I liked them both, man. I liked them both. I think I've got to go with Slim on that. If Magician had more, I might have been more drawn to that. I think his verse was maybe slightly one-dimensional in terms of the directness of what he was saying, while Slim took that topic and connected a story and a person to it. That appealed to me a little bit more. So entertainment style is going to Slim. Emotion, I think it's in the same boat. I think it's the same thing I've got there. I mean, you both used the topic nicely in a dark as fuck way. Magician, I definitely felt what was going on there. I can't leave my home, it's not safe, I'm afraid to depart it, leave my apartment so I can be with my darkness, utilities in your name, I'm jobless, I can't pay shit. I mean, that's real as fuck. And I could definitely feel that perspective. in terms of Slim, though, I think Slim just stepped it up a little bit in that sense. And if this was a piece from, like, I mean, I know it is a piece from an outsider looking into that situation, but if she had wrote it in, like, a third-person narrative just from some random fuck, or even from her, looking at the situation, I probably wouldn't have felt it as much, but doing so from the perspective of a mother and the way that this was described the whole way through the story to it and the narrative, like his mind ate away at him, every glance in the hallway became a knife, locked himself in his room for 3 months. Like, you could feel a parent or even a friend looking at that situation and being like, fuck, you know? So that's what I got for that. So emotions going to Slim. Imagery, I see these are close, but like it seems to be following a trend now. Is that that's going to Slim as well. I mean, Magician, you had some nice fucking imagery, like what I read from you a second ago. You know, it wasn't as consistent. I think you needed to have, dude, if you had another, I'm gonna see how many lines your shit is right now. It's like 25. It's like 25. If you had continued, dude, if you had done even another 10 with the same topic, the same sort of consistency, it would have been a different story. But I think Slim she just had more. That's the thing. She had more. She put a bit more of herself into it, if you'd feel me. So I'm gonna look back for a couple parts. I mean, what I read from her as well. I mean, the whole thing too, like, he left my house on his birthday, headed for the west at 21. I mean, that's narrative, but it's also, it's kind of in between the show and tell. I mean, that part is definitely the tell. But so that was a bad example. Fuck off. At 14, I knew he wasn't normal. That's true. What kind of 8th grader brings home a neck tattoo, green hair, pink nails, lots of red mark on tests, locked himself in his room to host crying contests? That's where it was right there. That's what got that from me. Storytelling devices. I think I'll couple it in with poetic devices, because I think their result is the same. See, there's the trend, is the way that Slim wrote about this, the descriptive, the narration of it, the conflict in Slim's piece, which was sort of from the mother, the character development of Little Peep in that story, that was fucking well done. That was super fucking well done, Slim. And I mean, I don't know shit about Little Peep, so I didn't really pick up on it, on like even the green hair, pink nails and shit. I thought it might have just been a generic story about like a random that you made up. And I kind of liked it at that. I kind of liked it at that, but when you got to the end with the Little Peep, I was like, well, yeah, that described him. Everything you wrote in terms of imagery, that describe him. So that comes into the character development. So storytelling devices is definitely Slim. I think poetic devices probably as well, just for the way it was written. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of like the devices in general, I think, from either. Well, I mean, Magician had like wore me out like a pair of old shoes, broken up like wishbones, darkness I have defriended, my time is splendid, growing my sanity like a dying tree that was diminished. That shit's nice, dude. That's nice little throw-ins. Poetic devices going to Magician, actually. It's going to Magician on that. It was just the way it was written. I just spelled your name wrong writing it down. Fucking, I suck. Yeah, it was the way it was written. Slim's was more direct narrative. I mean, Magicians was too for the most part, but there were those parts thrown in that I picked up on and I really appreciated. So that was nice. Vocab, spelling, grammar. I mean, this category, it is a need, because, like, if you fuck up on spelling and it changes a word, I mean, that's going to affect the whole piece. Neither of you fucked up. That's basically what this category is going to always be, I think, as if somebody fucked up. Spelling, vocab, yeah, so that's a tie. That's a tie. Nobody really outdid the other in that sense. Flow and pace. Flow and pace is going to go to Slim. Magician, not that yours is bad. I mentioned it. Some of the end rhymes. Could throw some internals in there. A bit better structure would also help that as well, especially if you did add internals. A bit longer end rhymes in terms of syllable count, if possible. But yeah, I mean, Slim's was consistently fire in terms of the flow. I mean, I'd actually have to be real. I'd have to go in and look again and be technical, even to, like, try to count syllables on some of this shit. And I mean, I think she's still kind of working at that as well. So I might be able to find some shit, but, like, it's not, that'd be nitpicking. Like, in terms of whether it made or braid, rip, I suck. Made or broke a battle. If it was super fucking close, it might be something to push an opponent over the edge for the win, but it really wasn't. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from Magician. I mean, you're the fucking homie. I think you just needed more, dude. I think you needed more. Rhyme scheme, same thing. Rhyme scheme is going to Slim. Same reasoning. That's the cats. So, I mean, I've got most of the cats for Slim. Most of the cats for Slim, minus topic consistency, creativity, and vocab grammar, which is a almost null category for this battle, at least. So I've got Slim. I got Slim. Definitely taking a W. Again, not taken away from anything from Magician. Slim's been doing this, dude. Slim's been doing this shit. She's been writing. She's been on the grind. Been doing it quite a while, even based on how young she is, which I still don't know if it's 12, 16, 22, 37, 59. I don't have a fucking clue, dude. Maybe she's 59 and wears the same cardigan as you, Magician. I really don't know, but I do know that she's been doing this shit a while. So she knows the technicalities of the writing. She can tell decent stories. You just need more, Magician, that's all. I know, again, that you're new to this and you're kind of jumping out of your comfort zone. I fucking appreciate that. I love it. I respect it. I hope you stay in for some further weeks. I definitely think that you could, if you wanted to, if you adapted your style a bit more to what other people are writing. I mean, I know you're the dude that does that goes in the opposite direction of that, and I mean, that's fine as long as it kind of satisfies the criteria that people are looking for, if that makes sense. For Slim, I mean, I don't really have any qualms with this piece. Nothing really to complain about. Nothing that I'd really change. I mean, I wouldn't have fucking wrote this. No goddamn way. No. But you did, and you fucked with it. You liked it. I know it's I guess in a personal way, because you fucked with Little Peep, in terms of music and image and all that. So I know this is like something from the heart as well. So yeah, I really wouldn't change anything about this. And there's that. That's that. So yeah, I've got this going to Slim MC, and I hope you guys both stay around and keep kicking it with us. And that's all. I'm out.